Traditional social media architecture is optimized for a single objective: extracting attention. When applied to civic coordination, this machine metaphor actively breaks local networks by prioritizing massive artificial clusters of outrage over localized action. Building functional civic technology requires discarding the machine metaphor entirely. The architecture must function instead as a digital common land, a shared, utility-driven infrastructure. This is the operational mandate behind Seven Hills. It is a decentralized coordination platform built specifically to deliver the 2035 Sheffield City goals. This diagram shows the platform's inverse core metric. On the left, vanity metrics like views and shares rapidly decay. On the right, Seven Hills tracks horizontal agency, discrete physical actions, volunteer pledges, and local joins that build a durable structure. Engineering this agency requires tearing out standard engagement loops. Static intake forms are replaced with semantic data extraction, and gamified leaderboards are replaced with cryptographically verified physical presence. To solve problems on an actual street, the underlying code must structurally resist digital gamification and force localized physical validation. Traditional user onboarding relies on rigid keyword dropdowns and uploaded profile pictures, which immediately inject demographic biases, like age or race, into local networks. Seven Hills removes the photograph. It generates a perceptually hashed archetype animal identifier. This visual mark remains stable and completely independent of the user's trust tier. To discover what a resident brings to the neighborhood, an AI concierge named Porter conducts a short conversational interview. Porter's data pipeline scans unstructured chat text, extracting exact matches to 9 predefined civic moves, like notice, fix, and host, as discrete data pills. These verbs bypass secondary tables, committing directly into a native PostgreSQL array column on the user's identity record. This array populates the user's civic passport. The interface presents an identity built entirely on civic verbs and demonstrated utility, ignoring static demographics. By shifting from static forms to semantic extraction, the system maps a user's local capacity without triggering the prejudices built into standard profiling. Moving from individual nodes to the network layer, Seven Hills explicit claims be validated by physical geographic state. This is achieved through the community anchor, a verified physical location on the map, like a local bandstand, acting as a geographic trust route. To prove these locations exist and are safe, the platform relies on a physical QR code called the anchor signet, combined with a mechanism known as the triangulation protocol. To transition an anchor to verified, 3 independent stewards must scan the signet. The database blocks matching Stripe billing hashes to prevent shared household gaming, and queries vouch links to enforce a 90-day separation rule between verifiers. By tethering network permissions to physical co-location and cryptographic exclusion queries, the architecture secures itself mathematically against bot farms and remote gaming. With the geographic routes secured, users progress through trust tiers only by executing cryptographically verified exchanges of physical goods or local labor. When a transaction completes, the system generates the thread spin. This establishes a permanent, visible structural link between 2 distinct nodes, verifying the mutual exchange. However, highly secure digital identity systems generate a vulnerability. They create a digital underclass of residents without smartphones or internet access. To counter this exclusion, Seven Hills engineered the Arthur Protocol. Offline residents are issued a physical membership card. It features their unique archetype mark on the front and a secure QR token on the back. At a verified anchor, a steward scans this physical card. This spins up a logged gray mode proxy session, allowing the steward to interact with the platform on the offline user's behalf. True systemic trust cannot exist if it structurally excludes the digitally disenfranchised. The trust mesh bridges the digital to physical divide in both directions. Pulling back to the macro view of the completed network, the abstract data architecture maps directly onto the physical reality of Sheffield. The identity engine proves it is possible to digitize human utility into 9 distinct verbs without storing static, exploitable demographic data. The trust mesh proves that physical geographic coordinates and anchor signets can algorithmically defeat the addictive engagement loops of Web 2.0. In this ecosystem, the technology is strictly a conduit. By deliberately introducing structural friction into the user experience, the system ensures that every network action is intentional. The ultimate success of this civic infrastructure lies in its ability to tilt the floor, making real-world, neighbor-to-neighbor collaboration the path of least resistance. When a digital architecture refuses to optimize for attention, the pixels on a screen can reliably and safely translate into boots on the ground.